Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN, and I'm here today to bring you some more Rift coverage. And today we're going to take a look at some more PvP footage. This is with my rogue as a Marks Ranger. This is the Marks Ranger variation, specifically Marks Ranger Assassin. And I alluded to this a little bit in my last PvP video where I was doing the non-Ranger version, which is Marksman Assassin Infiltrator. So this one you lose the Infiltrator, which is the PvP soul, but you do gain some of those effects back in other talents. And we'll talk about that when we actually see the talent tree in a little bit. But for now I want to start off with some action, some crazy ass numbers there, some AoE, which I'm dropping to distract them so they can't pick up the Fang, allowing our teammate to pick up the Fang and get away with it. Now this was actually not a win, I'll just spoil that for you now, but we had a good start. It just all went to hell. I mean, we just had not a great team here. I'm running this, by the way, with Viper, who's my cleric buddy there, who guest starred a couple videos, and he's running this BG as full ward, his PvP spec, his PvP healer spec, and he's like the only healer here for Guardian. And matter of fact, he's like the only healer in either team, or something like that. And there we go. So they finally mugged us and got the flag. Now here's the downside of the spec. I do not have hasten call. I don't have enough points in Ranger for it, and as a result, I have to sometimes manually hardcast my pet, which sucks because they don't always get respawn like they're supposed to. Why is this guy holding the flag so close to our territory? Oh, who cares? So I just run in blue cooldowns and start working early on this flag carrier, and it seems to be going fine until I get mugged and killed. And yeah, because there's just not a lot of help from allies here. They're just not focusing on the objective, but that's okay. Whenever Viper's there, though, he manages to keep me alive through a lot of crap and allow me to get a lot of flag carrier kills. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to pick up the flag with so many people hitting me at the same time. So yeah, there's another one. Just couldn't finish him off. Could have done it if I had a little support from the team, but that's okay. So I'm going to go around the side this time. I don't even know where my pet is. He's run off. And start working on this guy. I think I got him this time. Oh, so close. So close. Come on. Come on. I think my cooldowns were actually not available, or they were down when that happened. But yeah, we finally, finished him off, and then I'm dead. So I'm running down here. My wolf apparently sometimes will be rezzed by the AI, sometimes not. Whatever. Taking another run. I mean, this is what ultimately what the Marksman spec really excels at is flag carrier, killing the flag carrier. Because you pop your cooldowns, you have your instant power shot, instant deadeye shot crits, and it does a lot of damage. And then when the flags drop, you can spam fan out forever almost to prevent them picking up the flag. But there you see they actually managed to get it because of a very timely stun. I was stunned. I hit my escape artist, which is my ranger ability that gets me out of stuns. Hit that, then went back to shooting, and it was just enough of a delay for them to pick it up. Oh, come on. But I'm going to kill the flag carrier again, right there. And I guess, come on, teammates, do something. I can only kill the flag carrier so much. Viper can only keep me alive so long, but no. They got it. So, I just wanted to, before I finish this BG, I wanted to highlight how many flag carrier kills I had. I had 4 flag carrier kills. Okay, so on to the spec here. This is the Ranger version of Marksman. It's going to be 38 Marksman, 24 Ranger, 4 Assassin. And I tried a few variations on this. The main reason I went for the 24 Ranger is for 2 things. One is to get the Direwolf, so I actually have a pet. Without this, I won't even have any pet whatsoever. And then, along with that, this talent, Prey on the Weak, which gives you a almost permanent 15% damage buff, since your pet's going to be critting all the time. So that's pretty much why I got that many points in it. Now, the downside of this spec is you have to take 4 points out of Assassin. If I had 4 more points in Assassin, I'd only have this extra crit percent, an extra 4% physical damage permanently, without relying on this talent or relying on the pet. And then I'd also have lethal poison, which is really the killer here. I mean, that's a really amazing ability. So I can see why people would argue to go for 4 more in Assassin and take 4 out of Ranger. I mean, there's a strong, I can see why they would say that. Now, you don't want to do less than 20 though, because at 20 you get Escape Artist, and this is the replacement for Break Free. And this is a PvP build after all, so since you can't get Infiltrator for Break Free, you have to go for the next best thing, which is Escape Artist. And the downside to Escape Artist is it does not cover Fear, Blind, Sap, or other Disorients. It doesn't cover being squirreled by Mage. But fortunately, it still covers stuns, and stuns are like 90% of what you're worried about in a battle. So it's still pretty good. But I wouldn't work without this because, you know, you'd be pretty much neutering yourself. And then at 18 points, you get opportunity, which is like one of the most important talents in the whole tree. Because it really, really helps. It gets you faster Deadeyes, and that's all. Come on. I mean, that's the whole point of playing a Marksman is for big Deadeye shot crits. But anyway, so yeah, that's the different variations. You can go 20 and then 8, or you can go 4 and 24 like you have here. Now, as for Marksman, you really can't take any points out of the spec because you're going to lose controlled fire if you take any points out, and that's what you can't do. You can't live without this talent. Now, I do want to mention that in the upcoming patch, which is like 2 weeks, or a little bit less than 2 weeks actually, I think like 10 days. In that patch, they're going to make a couple of important changes to Marksman. They're actually buffs. One of the things is they're changing controlled fire to improved hit and run. What they're doing is essentially they're rolling all of the Marksman cooldowns into one, which makes it a lot easier to manage. So I'm looking forward to that change. That's a very good change. The next thing they're doing is they're changing the sniper training, which you see is honestly, I haven't done my due diligence here. I haven't really tested this talent to see how useful it is in PvP. But fortunately, they're taking care of that for me. They're changing it. It's no longer affects parry or dodge. It now what it does is just gives you a flat 15% bonus to your Deadeye shot and empowered shot passively. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. And that's the main reason why I have this talent here. I have this spec, I'm kind of like thinking forward. I'm saying, well, I'm going to have to put 3 points in sniper training after the patch, so I might as well plan my spec to have it in advance. If I didn't have sniper training for now, I would have just put them in Keen Eye for the extra range. And I know you're probably thinking, you know, it's PvP. How can you only put 2 out of 5 in Keen Eye? Well, I mean, you tell me what I can pull out of this spec to put it into Keen Eye. I really would love to have more points in here. I'd love to have 2 out of 2 improved repelling shot. It's just not really possible. There's too many talents that are just straight, very important DPS boosts to be able to get finish off Keen Eye. So I'll just try to, you know, be a little bit more mobile, so I won't need the extra range. If you were to put 2 more points in Marksman, I don't really know how you could do that because, you know, the spec's so tight already. But if you could put 2 more points, you can get Retreat, which is an amazing ability. Unfortunately, it's just not that important compared to, you know, the other stuff here. Now, 4 Assassin is the minimum, or you can put an Assassin because if you put less than that, you're going to lose Stealth. And you really do need Stealth as a Rogue. You really do need Stealth for PvP. I mean, as a Marksman, you know, one of your main things is sneaking around, shooting flag carriers and whatnot, so you need the Stealth to be able to do that, even though your pet kind of defeats the purpose. But you still, even when you're stealthy, people won't target you. Plus this passive 4% crit. I mean, really, do you want to give up passive 4% crit? I sure don't. So I would not recommend going less than 4 Assassin. I wouldn't recommend going less than 20 Ranger, and definitely not less than 38 Marksman. So the spec is very rigid. It's very hard to make changes to it. So back to the action. We've got some more Blackguard in here. Then we're going to do support Scion after that. This one was a win. We joined this game after it already started, and the Guardians had the flag, as you can see, up against the cliff. So we just kind of jumped in and started defending the flag. A lot of people on it now, but that's okay. We were able to keep them off of it so that we could pick it back up after the guy died. Not a problem. So, yeah, pretty much just dropping more DPS on this spellcaster. I usually try to target spellcasters, of course, because they're the most dangerous. Clerics being, of course, the most dangerous, but mages too, because they can often be Chloromancers. So I always go for those spellcasters. As soon as I see the blue bar, it's time for cooldowns and spamming. I hit your controlled fire, hit and run, and with those two, you get the 50% reduction in the cost of all your abilities, and then you also get instant empowered shots, instant Deadeye shot, and then you can pop your bullseye for a crit Deadeye shot. So you pop all your cooldowns, and just a couple empowered, and then an instant crit Deadeye. It's pretty awesome, and that's how you really spike down your flag carriers or your healers. So let's just fast forward a little bit to a spot where the Defiant had the flag again. They get killed. He's going to pick it back up, and unfortunately, I am coming up in stealth. No one sees me, no one's attacking me. I guess the wolf, no one sees the wolf apparently. So somebody with a pretty neat trinket or something, making them look like a ghost, is got the flag, is running around here. But he's not getting away from me, no way. Or this other ally here in this much better group who actually got the kill. I was just supporting. But they picked it up. So let's get back to the base. We're going to head back and actually win this thing pretty soundly. Oh, they got me. They got the flag carrier there, but we wound up getting it back anyway. So that was a pretty easy win. There wasn't much else in that Black Garden to show because it was pretty uneventful after that. But in the Port Scion here, Port Scion is one of those, sometimes it can be boring for me if we just kind of hold the bridge the whole game and return source stones, but this was a really tough fight, a lot of back and forth, so I want to show this fight. It was actually really interesting. We opened up with a fight on the bridge. I was standing up here like I usually do, and then boom, in the water. Oops. Pretty much took me out of the fight. So coming back in a little bit later on, I think after I tried to make a source stone run or something, to fight over the bridge because we noticed that there wasn't too many people guarding it, so we decided to pretty much rush the bridge, and we managed to get the cap in there, as you see. So that went pretty well. And of course, once you get the bridge in Port Scion, your next move is to push on the church to pick up the source stone and turn those in for points. Since nobody goes for the enemy faction commander, I don't even know if there is a working strategy for that. I mean, I guess maybe if you could convince everyone in the startup to just not go for the bridge and just like hit stealth and go over. I don't know. I don't know how you get away with that strategy. That seems like a crazy strategy. But anyway, because there's no graveyards. There's no graveyards. There's no way for you to spawn right by the commander, so it's stupid. But anyway, so we're trying to push into the church here. There's NPCs everywhere. That NPC was just bugged. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. But there's still a bunch more enemies piling up, and we got to clear them out because they are constantly harassing us. Plus, we're still waiting for more source stone to spawn. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in here and do a run. Finally, now that things are cleared out, and my stubby dwarven legs can't make that jump apparently, even though I've made it a million times. But there you go. So I'm just gonna only show you one actual source stone run because it's pretty boring. I just want to show you how I do it in case you don't do Port Scion a lot, or in case you just aren't familiar with it. And by the way, that's the little raid boss that you spawn, the Endless Court person. I think there's an achievement for it, but I've already done it before, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this return and let my allies take care of that. But I come up here, and you're not supposed to jump over this, but if you hit sprint, it's really easy to jump over. Being a marksman, you know, I have on the double, but you can actually make it without the sprint. I'll show you that later. But if you have, you know, any sprinting class, you know, if you're going to do flag runs, you want to have a sprinting class like a Paragon or Blade Dancer, or what's the mage that has a sprint? Stormcaller, I think. I believe Stormcaller has a sprint. But that's about it. So after the turn in of the source stone, we come back to a big old AoE battle, which is awesome. And I think at this point we had given up the bridge and we were trying to fight our way back to it. And which was not easy because there was a huge horde of Defiant here, but at least as long as we're fighting this battle, they're not getting away with source stone. That's the important thing. So I went ahead and picked out a mage here to work on. Or was that a cleric? I can't tell that. I don't know. Repelling shot to interrupt, execute with Deadeye shot, owned, and then start laying down some damage on some other people. Although I don't think I got anybody else before they got me. I'm way too far behind enemy lines there. That was pretty much just asking for it. Back to another PvP big old AoE battle. I just went ahead and skipped that one. I went straight for the source stone. I saw there's a couple of Defiant carrying him out, so I'm like, screw it, I'm going for this guy. So he knocks me back. Just, nope, ignore that. Hit my sprint, my awesome Marksman sprint. Now here's, you know, again where Marksman really shines. I mean, I'm popping my cooldowns and unloading massive amounts of spike damage on this target while moving, and moving faster than him, and I can slow him and do all kinds of stuff too if I couldn't have caught him, but I was able to get it pretty easily. I'm not sure what happened to the stone after I died. I don't know if anyone picked it up or not. So we're making another run for this flag. We got a real good shot at grabbing this flag again, and I think we already got it, or we're about to. We're going to get it next second here. But there's only a couple guys just trying to AoE to break us up from the flag. We actually got it here pretty soon. Come on. Almost there. Yeah, there we go. We're about to get it now. Yeah, there we go. So anyway, we're now again pushing the church. So you see how this has been really back and forth. You know, we take the church, we get some source stone runs, they take the bridge, then they take the church, they do some source stone runs, we take the bridge, you know, and so on. So it's actually really exciting. It was definitely not one-sided. So when Port Scion's like that, it can be a lot of fun. Another big old AoE battle. This is awesome. I love these. I know I should be single targeting mana users right now, and I will do that a little bit, but for the most part, it's really fun to just shoot fan out over and over again and look at all the pretty numbers. That's why I play video games, for pretty numbers over people's heads. You know, isn't that what everybody does? Yeah, come on. Anyway, so I was trying to take out that flag carrier there. I don't know what happened. Somehow I deselected him and selected someone else right before he died, so he wound up living an extra 3 seconds, surviving my attack. But anyway, I did manage to finally kill him and take the Source Stone. As you see, I'm going to go ahead and just run it back, take the north route, and you don't need to see the rest of that. That'd be boring. But after that, came back to the church here, start working on some of these Defiant here. There's only one Source Stone that's actually spawned up there, and lots of us in here, so there's no need for me to go and just grab it. We have plenty of runners, so I'm decided to work on this warrior instead. He looks pretty dangerous. With lots of us on him, though, he goes down with no problem. God, warrior's overpowered. Each one's like a raid boss. Yeah, still no Source Stone, still no Source Stone. So I'm just going to guard the entrance and prevent Defiant from getting in here. That way our runners can get through in peace. And now they're going for the bridge. So we're going to go try to keep the bridge this time and not give up the church, or at least keep the church, you know, whatever. And another big old AoE battle. Fan out, fan out, fan out. Mash my fan out button. I love it. No, but I am going to do single target damage to this guy. I'm going to hit my cooldowns and do Empowered Deadeyes. Trying to kill that mana user, and as you can see, he's taking lots of damage, but he's got lots of great healing. It's so close. I'm doing so much damage to this guy, but I think ultimately he finally goes down, and then I get back to the really fun stuff, which is the AoE. But I'm not even sure what class it is. I have a really hard time telling that sometimes in the heat of battle. I just see a bad mana bar and go for it, because even if it turns out to be a DPS mage, it's still important, because DPS mages are pretty dangerous. Now this whole time I forgot to talk about Viper's actually here. He started as a healer, but we seem to be okay on that. He just wanted to add some more DPS. So we went Inquisitor, and you'll see his stats at the end. He had some pretty insane damage. He pretty much just went Inquisitor and just dropped AoE all over the place. I'm sure if you look closely, you can probably see his circles of oblivion all over the place, but yeah, that's fun. Hell, that's half the reason I play this game is to AoE people. So as you can see, our efforts to take the bridge back failed miserably, and they're just like the whole freaking Defiant raid is on the bridge right now. So I'm just gonna peg away at them and do essentially nothing and die. But in the next run through, we come into the church, and as you can see, they are still taking care of the bridge, and we're able to sneak in and get some more flag runs. I mean, ultimately, if you take the bridge and you don't take advantage of that to hold the church and take the flags, then what the hell are you doing there to begin with? I mean, that's like the whole point. So now that we have, we're still able to keep the church, take out the couple of Defiant that straggled in here, grab the Source Stone and get out. I think they already took all of them though, so I'm just going to sit here and guard the door pretty much. A couple people, you know, again trickling in. Here I have managed to grab one Source Stone, and at first I was like, I'm going to shoot some people, but I'm like, no, there's way too many, so I'm going to get out of here, even though they keep knocking me back into this hole. It was really weird. The timing in there is amazing. Maybe there's like a mage spell that does that, I don't know. That like tethers you or something. I'm not sure. So maybe there's a Dominator spell, someone can tell me that. But anyway, I finally got away, and my sprint was on cooldown, so I just want to show you real quick how to make this jump without sprinting. You have to jump right before this rock, and then you'll make it, you know, if you get the timing exactly right. It's pretty hard to do though. Sometimes I won't be able to get it, and I'll just have to wait for sprint to come back off cooldown. So after that run, we come back to the church again, and it's another big AoE battle. I mean, the match is over at this point. At this point, we're just doing this for fun. We're just shooting people for fun, which is, you know, that's the way of things. So, God, look at all this stuff. There's like healing and damage, and like storms and rain, and just complete chaos. It's like it's like old school Alterac Valley. You know, those big fights in the Field of Strife, just crap everywhere. But it's a little bit better than that, I think. So, 'cause there's actual objectives. So there we go. We won. So I'm not sure if you can read the tiny text there, but Viper had something like 450,000 damage or something ridiculous. I mean, he did way more than me. Or 300,000, I can't remember now. I can't see it in the little blurry preview window, but whatever he had a lot of damage, and it was way more than me. But I had like 5 flag returns, so that's even better. So that's it for the Marksman Ranger build for the Rogue. Marksman Ranger Assassin with 4 in Assassin, 38 Marksman, and 24 Ranger. The build is based around spike damage. You have a pet, and that's about it. Thanks for watching. This is Cromar with TGN.